Hey people, I hope you're doing well. I'm just going to give you my thoughts and opinions on the FC27 gameplay deep dive. I'm quite impressed with what I have seen, some of the subtle improvements that they are looking to make, some of the new additions that they have made, and I must say one of the biggest standout points that I'm really happy with going into this newer game is the fact that they are going to be balancing out the play styles. A lot of us have abused the badges and the play styles and the traits and everything that players have had in FC26 because of course that is the meta. You immediately have a much better player who's rated 73 overall with 5 different playstyles compared to a player that's 80 overall and has maybe one playstyle or sometimes even no playstyles. So I do like, that is the biggest thing that I've taken away from this entire trailer, that they are going to try and rebalance that side of their game. So we're just going to hop on and have a look at some of the things, and I'm going to give you some of my opinions on it. And I'd also like to know some of your guys' opinions down below in the comment section if you would like to offer them. I mean, I'm always open for some conversations and all that other stuff. So yes, if you'd also like to join up with the Discord, the link for that is down below in the description. Go ahead and join up with it, and you can also talk about it over on there as well.
So much that's new to gameplay this year. We addressed AI defending, reinvented corners, reworked attacking runs, dribbling under pressure, and fluid 1-2s, and of course retuned fundamentals to reduce intercept backs, rebalance playstyles, and deliver on more of the improvements you care about most. Your feedback is clear.
So I'm just going to pause it right there. I've never been one to rely on the AI to defend. So for me, this is quite foreign. I mean, I don't really play online or FIFA Ultimate Team or anything like that, or FUT or whatever you want to call it. So for me, learning about this and how much of a problem it is a bit of a shocker to me because, again, I always try and defend with my player. I don't leave it to the AI to try and help me. But it is good that they have addressed something like this and they have improved it. And I mean, they even mentioned about the player when they go for the interception, they're not looking to really make a big, heavy tackle. They're looking to try and control the ball and more or less regain control for you as the player, and then you can look to work your way back up the field. So I do like that they have done something about that, and they've maybe implemented one or two new animations as well whilst doing so. However, one thing I will say is I don't like the idea that it's like so heavily one-sided. So if you tend to like slack off and you leave it up to the AI to try and help you defend, you're going to get more exposed, which kind of is a cool thing. But at the same time, like if I am trying to control one of the players and I'm going to the ball and they somehow pass around me, and then I see the AI sleeping in the defense and not going for an interception when you know that they could easily cover that space, and the ball gets played straight through the opening into a runner, I'm going to get mad. I don't know about some of you guys, but I'm going to get mad with that. So I hope that it's not so one-sided that they've counterbalanced it and now it's too much of the other way. It needs to be, you know, again, fine balance in the middle, very much like what they're hoping to do with the player styles. So I do hope that that is the case going forward.
And we've loosened teammate contain and team press in the defensive third. The AI will still get into solid defensive position.
Now, the teammates contain and the counter pressing, I think you push R1 for that. I use that quite a bit. Now, I don't think that was necessarily a problem in FC25 or FC26 or even FC24 or FIFA or whatever. Whenever they brought it in, I think it was around FIFA 23. I've never had an issue with that. I like the fact that it's a short-term thing. You can't use it all the time. But the fact that they're saying that they've now changed it. I mean, pressing was already like quite a difficult thing as it was. But now you're giving more offensive powers to the attackers, which, fair enough, that's great. But you also need to not take away from the defending, because in my opinion, that is one of the newer features that they have brought in over these last few years where I've actually been really happy with it. And you have to, it's a skill, you have to learn how to use it, you have to know when to apply it, you have to know how to trap your opposition team or the opposition team player against the touchline, or you press them well enough and they're going to give the ball up. So the fact that they have said that they've changed that and they've kind of reduced its effectiveness, it does worry me just a little bit, because again, you don't really want to see games happening where they result in a 4-6 victory or, you know, something along those lines. You do want to have a strong, solid defensive sort of game if you need to. If you're trying to play park the bus football, you need to know that you can rely on all those players defending. So I do worry about certain things like this.
But taking manual control will give you more tools to stop your opponent and continue to reward skill. In FC27,
so what I gather from this new corner thing, I mean, it does seem like it's more or less the same. However, in the current FC26 game, if you push L1, you could take control of one of the players, then you load up your corner, and then you can control that player and then move in. I think that will be more of a consistent feature for FC27 now. So it seems like you'll load up your power, you'll then get your player of your choice, could be your centre back or your striker attacking the near post, and then you can manually control them and move them around and try and gain some space. It's been shown here as like a new feature. Maybe it's just going straight over my head. Maybe I'm not smart enough to figure this out. But it does seem like this is already something in FC26, and in FC25 it was a thing. So I'm a little bit confused. I can't lie. I'm a little bit confused because again, you could literally do this in FC26. I mean, and don't get me wrong, it could be cool, maybe with like the new features or the new animations that they do have with the physicality and everything. Maybe that does play a bit of a factor. But I am concerned that they're thinking that this is a new thing when it's not. At least from what I can tell, it's not.
You'll have more control over how your teammates run off the ball. New creative runs completely reinvent how the attacking AI makes runs to give you options going forward.
Now you see, this is what I mean though. With the whole, they've kind of nerfed the defending and they've added to the offensive players. Again, I'm all for having the smarter off-the-ball runs and the great movements into the half spaces and stuff like that. However, I need the defenders also being able to track those runners. Because if you're going to be one-on-one with a goalkeeper every time, of course, the offensive player is always, well, most likely to score. So I don't need a 4-man defensive unit being broken down by a 3-man attacking unit because they've been able to flick the ball around the corner multiple times and then play the ball through the one player and into the space. I need a AI defender to potentially be taking on that man or taking on that player and trying to defend against them a bit better. From what they've shown here, it just looks like the defenders are kind of falling asleep, which again is going to irritate a lot of people, and it is a bit of a concern of mine. But now this, by the way, I absolutely love this. The ability to curve your run, the ability to have your player just not wandering offside consistently. I remember maybe about 2-3 weeks ago, they showed they showed a video clip from, I think it was FIFA 17 or could have been FIFA 18. And you see the fullback start the attack in their own half, play the ball forward, and then obviously they've triggered a run for that player to get forward and high up the pitch. You see the fullback looking to arc their run inside, and because the ball hasn't gotten to them quicker, they look to move inside and just hold their position higher up the field and then receive the ball and then look to play it, and eventually it ends up in a goal. This is another key thing that I do like that they have brought back. I can't remember when it was effectively removed. Maybe it was recently with FC24, FC25. But the amount of times that your players just wander offside. Now, I'm not against having a player offside. I understand. Sometimes it does happen. But the amount of times that you will trigger a run and then you don't get the ball to the player in time because the player in possession has taken an extra touch. You need your player that's making that off-the-ball run to arc his run or angle his run or something along those lines. And it does appear that they are going to be doing that, which is brilliant. Huge plus. I will always try and give as much credit to EA as possible, but I'm also not going to just not give my opinion, if that makes sense. Also a big fan of the quick 1-2s and stuff. I like the fact that they do now speed up the player movement as well when doing so. I do like that. I just hope they get that again. It's not so overpowered that that's all we're going to be seeing from now on. But I do like it a lot. It does look very clean. It does look very smooth. I can't complain about this too much. However, the proof is in the pudding, and we'll see how it actually works in the game when you're playing against an opponent who consistently overuses it. This is the big one for me, people. I have been a huge hater of the playstyle plus and all that other stuff that has been added into the game because, again, it does kind of make every player that doesn't have a badge feel a bit redundant and a bit useless compared to those players who do have badges. And then again, you have a random Brazilian playing in China who's got 10 badges and he's absolutely insane. And to be fair, I don't blame people for using players like that because of course that is the meta. That's immediately going to improve your career mode, or that's immediately going to help you win a game on Ultimate Team. So it's just those things that I like that they're now changing. They've realized, dare I say it, they've actually listened to people who have complained online, although I feel like they said that in the last trailer as well, and then they kind of broke the game again. So I do like that they have made an active effort to try and improve the overall playability of the game and actually show some value in most players now.
And it's likely something we'll continue to balance throughout the year. Check out the pitch.
Yeah, they're 1000% going to have to balance, rebalance, counterbalance, do everything that they possibly can, because that's going to be a major thing. If you have a player who doesn't have a play style and then all of a sudden they're scoring every single goal, it's going to be a bit hard. But then if you like rebalance it and then it's too hard to score, then they have to, like, you know, again, counterbalance the whole situation. In terms of the crossing, right, great header. In terms of the crossing, I didn't really have much of an issue with FC26's crossing. I think maybe FC25, the crossing was horrific. The ball would always balloon. It felt like I was playing FIFA 20 again. So I do like that they have put in some efforts to fix the crossing, fix the heading, the accuracy of the heading, and then the directional flow. I don't know, the direction the ball goes. I do like that. I just hope, again, it's not an overpowered thing, because we have seen in the past where EA, they add this cool new feature, but then they've overpowered it. But I also know that there have been a lot of people who have said, like, working the ball out to the wing and then whipping it across very rarely works, and I understand that. But I mean, I haven't had that many issues with it this year, if I'm being brutally honest. Like, I've scored a fair amount of headers, but I also know that some of you guys have said, oh, I'm struggling with it, I don't understand it, it doesn't work that well. And a lot of people who have been comparing the current games to the older ones have said, oh, FIFA 17, you could score headers, this and the other. I do like that they have fixed it, although again, I've never noticed it. However, if I'm scoring some volleys like that, I'm not going to mind at all. And then, yes, they talk about physicality, of course, with the balanced dribbling and all that stuff. I mean, it could be quite cool. They kind of added to the physicality traits that certain players had, like the bruiser playstyle, if I'm not mistaken. You have or is it the enforcer playstyle? I don't know now. One of them, like, if you have that equipped, like, your player is very strong, you can hold off the opposition defenders, even bully them as well. So obviously they have added to that overall package, which again is always welcome. I mean, football, I want to say it has become a bit more physical in terms of, like, what we have been able to see over the last few years. So if you can add more physicality into the game, then so be it. That is the end of the trailer. I'm happy with what I've seen. I'm more intrigued about what's going to come with the potential career mode and tactics and stuff like that. Obviously, surrounding the channel makes sense, but in terms of a playable game, I do like it. I was a bit worried last week with the reveal trailer, but it does warm the heart just a little bit, if you will. It does give me a bit of hope that maybe FC27 is an improvement on FC26, which wasn't as bad as what a lot of people do tend to make it out to be. But you can see that they have put in a bit of effort here, which is always welcomed. So anyways, those are my thoughts, those are my opinions on the new gameplay trailer, or the deep dive. Let me know some of your thoughts and opinions down below in the comment section, and we can interact and have wholesome conversations. So anyways, until the next time, until the next one, I hope you guys have a smashing goddamn day, and I'm out of here. Peace!